Square Cow Countdowns. Slash here. So a funny thing happened to me on my way over here. Nah, never mind, I'm no comedian. Our topic for this episode is the top 10 garbage comedy movies. People say laughter is the best medicine, so let's get started. As per usual, there's a few rules. These have to be movies that I've seen before, but since they're all pretty awful, I don't need to have watched them all the way through. Only one movie per franchise, as well as one movie per actor. For example, if I put an Adam Sandler movie on the list, then I can't put a different Adam Sandler movie on the list as well. This video is entirely based on my own personal opinions, which are definitely going to be different than your opinions. If you agree with me, awesome! Tell me about it in the comments. And if you don't agree with me, well then tell me about that too. Alright, it's time to take out the trash. Let's do this. Number 10, The Hottie and the Naughty. This is a crass, predictable, and ineptly staged gross-out comedy that uses the classic Hollywood formula where there's a hot girl and an ugly girl, but the ugly girl is only ugly until she gets a makeover. And let me tell you, I hate these kinds of movies for two reasons. First, because the whole premise is idiotic, and second, because in almost every movie that uses this trope, the ugly girl is miles more attractive than the hot girl, even with ugly makeup on them. I've never found Paris Hilton very attractive, so for me, I think the role should have been swapped, and Paris wouldn't even need ugly makeup to play the ugly girl. Christine Lakin, the actress that plays the half-titular Naughty, is infinitely prettier than Paris any day. The only TV show that I've seen succeed in genuinely making girls look ugly is The Walking Dead with their award-winning zombie makeup. Number 9. Kangaroo Jack. Don't ask me how or why, but this movie was not a box office bomb. It stars Jerry O'Connell and Anthony Anderson as Charlie and Lewis, two best friends who are given $50,000 by Charlie's mob boss-connected father, and asked to deliver it to a mysterious and unnamed Mr. Smith in Australia. When they land in Australia, they rent a rover and set off in search of Mr. Smith. While driving, they accidentally hit a red kangaroo. Thinking it's dead, they, for some reason, put a jacket and glasses on it and pose for a picture with it. Then the kangaroo regains consciousness and runs off. That's when Charlie realizes that the $50,000 was in the pocket of the jacket that they put on the kangaroo. I don't know how they could be that stupid, but what follows is an unfunny romp through the Australian outback in search of the wayward kangaroo. I remember enjoying this movie when it came out in 2003. Mind you, in 2003, I was 11, so my taste in movies was questionable to say the least. After watching this movie for the purposes of making this video, the only scene in the entire movie that got a laugh out of me was this one.
Someone's in here!
Hey, it's me, Charlie. Open up.
What?
Okay.
What the?
Hey, check this out. Hey, you're not supposed to open this. Hey, man, it's like 50 grand there.
Oh my God. Something doesn't smell right here. Look at it!
I know, I'm looking. I've never seen so much green in one little brown package.
And now it's in my hands. Oh, it slipped out.
Woo!
Here, help me scoop it up.
Oh, this is one big load.
What a mess.
I just want to roll around in it.
Hand me the rest of the pile.
Can I hold it?
No, dump it in the envelope.
Maybe we should just flush it.
We're not gonna flush it. I'm gonna put it in my pocket, leave this room, and take it to Australia.
Well, if you're gonna do that, give it here. Let me kiss it for good luck.
You're not gonna kiss it? It's bad enough you touched it.
Charlie, before you put it away, can I at least smell it?
Maybe later.
Oh, no. It's not what it looks like.
Number 8. Bucky Larson, Born to be a Star. This movie, directed by Tom Brady, no, not that Tom Brady, was runner-up for 6 Razzies, including for Worst Picture, but lost to Jack and Jill, which swept that year's Razzies. Don't worry, we'll get to Jack and Jill. In this movie, Bucky Larson, a small-town man-child with a godly mullet and buck teeth, learns that his quiet and reserved parents were famous porn stars in the 70s. This inspires Bucky to leave Iowa for Hollywood, hoping to fulfill his destiny as the biggest adult film star in the world. Unfortunately, Bucky has a very small penis and has no idea how to become a porn star. But remember, any lesser-endowed gentleman watching, it's not the size that matters, it's how you use it. Through a series of misunderstandings, Bucky gets a job as a porn actor with fading director Miles Deep. Miles Deep. Wow, that is a terrific porn name. This movie tries way too hard to be funny, and there's nothing less funny than that. But I'll give it one thing. It does have a kind of cheesy feel-good charm that makes me not completely despise it. Number 7. Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd. Let's start with the good. Derek Richardson and Marty Deeks, Eric Christian Olsen, star as high school student versions of Harry and Lloyd, and I think they're dead ringers for Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. Making a prequel to show how two iconic characters met is also not a terrible idea. However, this movie fails in all other aspects. Our villain for the movie is the corrupt Principal Collins. Why does a buddy comedy need a villain? Anyway, Principal Collins is searching for a way to get enough money to buy a condo in Hawaii for him and his girlfriend, Miss Heller, the school's cafeteria lady. Seeing Harry and Lloyd getting hoisted on a flagpole, Principal Collins decides to establish a fake special needs class to swindle $100,000 from a former special needs student. Obviously, Harry and Lloyd are more than thrilled to help, unaware of the real reason, and thus find themselves signing up people who are special enough for the class. If it sounds like a stupid concept, just take my word for it when I say that it is, and save yourself an hour and 25 minutes of your life. Number 6. Disaster Movie. There were a few decent movies in the series before this, like Date Movie and Epic Movie, but starting with Meet the Spartans, the movies were on a swift decline until Disaster Movie came out and it hit absolute rock bottom. All the other movies before Meet the Spartans were parodying specific genres of movies, and the genre was obvious because it was in the movie title. At first glance, it would seem like Disaster Movie is spoofing, well, disaster movies, such as The Day After Tomorrow or 2012. No, wait, 2012 came out after this. But no, while there is a disaster going on, that's merely the driving point to get from each parody to the next. Spoofs in this abomination include, but are not limited to, Juno, Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Enchanted, Indiana Jones, Speed Racer, Love Guru, Sex and the City, Kung Fu Panda, a number of superheroes, and even Alvin and the Chipmunks, who for some reason keep trying to eat everyone's testicles. And speaking of parodies, what happened to the good old days where there was some subtlety to them? In Disaster Movie, when entering the scene, the parodied characters straight up announce their arrival. Like when Dr. Phil shows up, he says, "Hey y'all, it's Dr. Phil!" As if his southern drawl and bald head weren't already dead giveaways. Oh yeah, and Kim Kardashian is in this movie, but I honestly think she showcased more range in her leaked sex tape. Number 5. The Cat in the Hat. When the set design is a movie's best feature, you know you're in deep trouble. This may look like a Dr. Seuss book brought to life, but it by no means feels like one, besides having a plot that can fit into a few pages of big print. Mike Myers is spectacularly hammy as the Cat in the Hat, the mischievous feline who drops in unannounced to entertain two bored kids until their mother gets home from work. I would have loved to be in the room with the weirdos that wrote the screenplay. How did a beloved children's story about a walking, talking cat that comes to play with the kids become a movie where we see the aforementioned cat's ass crack? I get that lots of parents are gonna get dragged to theaters to see this with their kids, but realistic ass cracks aren't funny to anyone, so you can't use the argument of the writers trying to make the movie appeal to all audiences. But I think you could have tried a little harder with the character design for the Cat in the Hat. He doesn't look like a cat, he looks like Mike Myers wearing a catsuit. If you're one of the writers for this insult to adaptations, you deserve to have two kids and a giant cat ride you down a surreal water slide, just like the poor babysitter, Mrs. Kwan. Number 4. White Chicks. When FBI agent brothers Marcus and Kevin Copeland accidentally foil a drug bust, they're forced to escort a pair of socialites to the Hamptons, where they're going to be used as bait for a kidnapper. Everything is going smoothly until the girls injure their faces in a car accident, leaving them with horrible scars. Unwilling to be seen in public with the scars, they refuse to cooperate. Left without options, Marcus and Kevin decide to pose as the sisters, transforming themselves into a pair of blonde white women. Left without options? The FBI is one of the most powerful organizations in America. They could have drugged the girls or put a gun to their heads. Even hiring two actual blonde women to pose as the socialite sisters would have been better than this. Not only is this movie an insult to comedy, but it's an insult to humanity in general. And even if there were any funny jokes in this movie, which there aren't, none of them would land because, like me, everyone in the audience will be paying more attention to how weird and creepy the Wayans brothers look after undergoing the same transformation as Michael Jackson. Number 3. Son of the Mask. There are so many things wrong with Son of the Mask, it's hard to find a place to start. This 2005 movie is apparently a direct sequel to the 1994 Jim Carrey film, even though it doesn't have any of the same characters, or explain how the titular mask found its way into the hands of Tim Avery, our hero, played by Jamie Kennedy. This time around, we actually meet Loki, the Norse god of mischief. No, not that Loki. It was hinted in the first movie that the mask likely belongs to Loki, and now his father Odin, no, not that Odin, has tasked him with recovering the mask. You can probably see where this is going. The twist, if you can even call it that, is that Tim was wearing the mask when he and his wife conceived Alvi, the titular son of the mask, and because reasons, the baby somehow inherited all the powers of Loki's mask. So now Loki tries to take the mask back from Tim, but again, because reasons, Tim doesn't want to give up the mask, so it's Tim and Alvi versus Loki to see who keeps the mask, and chaos ensues. I'm guessing the movie was supposed to be funny, but it isn't. Number 2, Jack and Jill. Over the years, Adam Sandler has released countless films that rely on his usual shtick. His loyal fanbase usually helps even his more mediocre movies turn a profit, but this one, which sees Adam Sandler play a family man and his obnoxious twin sister, was among the first to underperform at the box office. The concept for the movie isn't too far-fetched. In the past, comedy actors like Eddie Murphy and Robin Williams crossed gender lines by portraying both a male and female character in the same movie. The problem with Jack and Jill is that it has no plot, so all the humor is supposed to come from the wacky antics that ensue. In some cases, this approach to comedy can work, but it doesn't here. It results in a raunchy, unfunny attempt at comedy where Adam Sandler tries to play off himself and fails miserably. Plus, the whole idea of the movie makes no sense. If two babies of opposite gender are born at the same time, they would be fraternal twins, and wouldn't be identical. So the fact that Jill is obviously just Adam Sandler in a wig and women's clothing is weird and creepy. Plus, that voice is worse than nails on a chalkboard. After Jack and Jill, Sandler's career never recovered. I was hoping that maybe his deal with Netflix would be his comeback, but no. Number 1, Movie 43. If you've never heard of Movie 43 before, consider yourselves lucky. For the unaware, Movie 43 is a 2013 anthology film that contains 12 unrelated comedy skits. But unlike an episode of Saturday Night Live, which might have the same number of skits, none of Movie 43's skits are remotely funny. I've never seen a movie waste so much talent. For unknown reasons, Movie 43 has an amazing ensemble cast of A-list celebrities, including Richard Gere, Elizabeth Banks, Kristen Bell, Halle Berry, Gerard Butler, Chloe Grace Moretz, Anna Faris, Chris Pratt, Hugh Jackman, Johnny Knoxville, Jason Sudeikis, Justin Long, Liev Schreiber, Sean William Scott, Emma Stone, Uma Thurman, and Kate Winslet, just to name a few. It was produced on a budget of $6 million and somehow earned back 5 times that much at the box office. Here's an example of how atrocious Movie 43 is. The very first skit features Hugh Jackman with testicles growing on his neck for no explained reason. It's a 7-minute skit that's 8 minutes too long. Except for the Hugh Jackman skit, I don't even get why these skits would be considered funny. I had to watch this crap over and over again while editing, and there were times where I didn't think I'd come out of this in one piece, but I did. Consider yourselves warned. Avoid Movie 43 like the Black Plague. Some things just aren't meant for mortal eyes. Wow, the sun's bright today. I'm hiding on the floor of my balcony. What do you guys think? I'm growing a mustache. It's not really that long yet, but I'm kind of liking it. If you like this video, go ahead and share it with your family, friends, enemies, anybody that you think might enjoy it. And if you want to see more videos whenever they come out, you can click the subscribe button down there somewhere. It'll be there for as long as YouTube decides to leave it there. They might make you have to click 6 different things to bring it up, because that's what they seem to be doing lately, making the site more complicated, but not actually adding any new features. And if you want to go take a look at all the other videos that use this same format, there's a whole playlist just waiting for you to click on. It's right there. That's the Square Cow Countdowns played through. There's about 3 videos in there that are not necessarily top 10s, but they all use the same. They use the same format as this video. And one last thing, there is a link in the description of this video that leads to my Patreon account. I have a Patreon, but no subscribers, and that's making me very sad. So if you want to help me out, go over to the Patreon account and take a look at the site. I'm offering all kinds of different rewards for people that pledge money. So if you're in a position where you can help me out, then I will use the money to buy better equipment so that I can make cooler videos, and then everybody wins. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.